And let's say hello to a familiar map, Lena River. We've seen it a couple times on this channel as part of, well, it was part of the data rotation, but this is not a ladder map. This is a custom map. You can tell because the scores here, they are down to the rounded to the nearest 100. So having an introduction to the players shortly. We have team 1 across the top here, team 2 down the bottom, and as per usual, there is there are those. Don't really need those on the replay. As per usual, there's mess to be had. Just under 20,000 to be had, actually. We'll leave those on because they're part of the game. It's nice to have. And then when I click on somebody, you can see their income stuff. So yeah, we'll leave that on up there. Okay, come back. Anyway, so introductions, ahoy. Team 1 across here at the top. First person for team number 1 here in the nice combat green kind of colour. It is Ismanoob. Ismanoob has gone Aeon. His teammate up on the plateau behind him, often the air player, it is Jan at work. Jan at work is UEF, Jan at work is purple, walking towards the hydro. Down in front of Jan we have no more work. So Jan's at work. This person doesn't want any more work, he's had enough. Anyway, Seraphim in Burgundy, and finally for team number 1 all the way up the top. In the back corner, it is Bramble. He's blue and Cybran. So we actually have full faction representation for team number 1. They have 1 Aeon, 1 UEF, 1 Seraphim, and 1 Cybran. So good on them. Alright, let's have a look-see down at team number 2. Then first off, team number 2 over on the right-hand side in the pretty pink colour, it is Luppy. And Luppy is Aeon. Luppy's working on hydro into an air factory. Plateau from Luppy. In the orange colour, it is Ferv, who's got himself a UEF, and he's also starting up his air factory. So seems to be a thing, by the way. Mixes, hydro, 3 pigeons, air factory. Seems to be the deciding build order to get that as soon as possible. Down the plateau, bright red, it is Chaos Bear. I'm just going to call him Chaos, I reckon it's going to be easier. He's Seraphim, and finally for team number 2, all the way on the left hand side in the far corner, it is Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm is Seraphim, Quiet Storm is Green, and Quiet Storm is walking somewhere with his commander. Looks like he might be planning to walk up in this direction, so you can sometimes see a drop happen. There's quite a bit of reclaim to be had here. All these nice lovely trees will give you mass as well as energy. There's 3 mixes to be had, 4th one, 5th one, 5 to be had. If you can land here and contest the spot, you can actually put in a little bit of a foothold and be irritating. So you may see people playing on that. If you see some early transports out from the edge players, like up here we may see in fact, it's exactly what seeing as a transport coming out from Ismanoob. So he is going to make a play for that other side, but might not be the wisest idea with the commander coming up, which will deny that area entirely. Do we have a transport down the other direction over here? No, we don't. Just some engineers and no transport planned at all. So Luppy is not going to be going for that other side island. Just going to focus on his own area and get working that way. And there we have it. We have some Selens, not a bad choice. Get them out very quickly. They can run very fast, very far. And they'll be looking to try and intercept this engineer drop right there. There it is. Coming out to you from Esmo. And this is an engineer drop. He's been going in a strange direction though. Oh, hello. Not sure I've noticed that before. Like a lighthouse? Okay, look, a lighthouse. Anyhow. Transport's gone this way. I think maybe it's just going to drop 1 engineer off here and carry on. When you need to grab that mass extractor underwater, yes it is. And here it goes, but Esmo has a scout out ahead watching for the inevitable interceptor that's going to turn up. There it is, coming along from Quiet Storm. He does not want to lose that, although maybe he's going to rethink his position of taking the hostile drop. Yes, indeed. Changes his mind. Maybe he's seen something with that intercept, with that scout there, and has decided, yeah, no, maybe not. I'll just claim this island instead. Drop the 3 engineers. Not going to make a play for over this direction. Probably wise, considering these are a bunch of scouts that will kill any engineers that do decide to drop there. I'm hearing an early bomber somewhere. Missed seeing it. In fact, it was over here. No, that is a defensive drop coming from Bramwell. He wants to claim this section of the plateau before anybody else, so he's all good. I think maybe it was back here. Either way, there was definitely a drop somewhere, a bomb, which I have completely missed. Maybe it was scooting out this way, going to kill something over here, who knows. Unfortunately, I completely missed it. Anyway, up here, Chaos has made a play for this particular island. Got a couple of engineers on there, is starting to build himself a factory. Maybe he wants to think about... Okay, he's going to need the factory because there's incoming hostiles and that is covered in labs, and we're going to see a little bit of a ghetto gunge up here, I'm pretty sure. Going to rock its way over and it's going to kill off these two engineers nice and prompt. They're going to have no recourse for that. Just needs to loiter around a little bit, kill those, and the factory is quite not finished. Engineers are dead, and the island is well held by Jan at work, thanks to ghetto gunship and engineer drop of his own. Transport does get shot down, but not really much else they can do other than that. T1 bomber has come over left from Quiet Storm, looking to maybe make an effect on this particular plateau. The engineers waiting to die. If he can circle back and kill these guys, he could stop production of the anti-air turret, which is kind of necessary. There's the bombs, going to get one or two. Going to get both engineers, and now there's anti-air on the ground. This interceptor's delaying tactic. Still don't know. That is a drop from Quiet Storm. Maybe he was thinking about making a play for the island, but now that there's units on the ground, got a tank, anti-air, got some inties. I don't think that is always going for it. He's going for the drop. He wants to make it happen. Having a quick check on the rest of the islands. This one is very much held. Team 2 is well ahead on the island game, except for Ismo Noob, who's grabbed this one. So down goes the transport. It's got a few labs on, or a few the lens on for protection. Can they actually shoot off a thing? No, I don't think they can. They're not shooting, they're just hovering. They're not labs, they can't shoot from the transport. They are not labs. So dropping down right on top of the Aurora, you maybe trying to be a bit distracting a little bit. If the engineers can finish the factory, they do. That's actually going to give a little bit of a foothold for Quiet Storm, but maybe not for long, because there's of course this factory here and units already on the ground. These engineers need to try and hide, they need to try and roll something off the factory to get running. Engineer does die. One them. Can it do the job? They are Auroras, so they are a wee bit weaker, but there's still two of them, and still just one them. Kills one Aurora, but it's not going to be enough, and the longer it goes on, it looks like it was probably a wasted drop, to be honest. Made an attempt to play for the island, but not going to get anywhere with that, especially with all the incoming two Auroras nice nearby. Got an engineer doing a reclaim, and that is going to be the end of that little push as more units are dropped off, although reinforcements coming in. So Quiet Storm not ready to give up on this island just yet, throwing in the reinforcements. So a few thams are rolling. They're going to do for all of this on the ground. Actually, they'll kill off the anti-air, they'll kill off the Auroras. In fact, the factory's going to survive there. Now we've got 4 thams out on patrol. They can actually think about making a push in the other direction as this one rolls out more units. The transport's going to get shot down by some inties, but that's okay. It's already done the job of reinforcing this position, and now it's actually looking pretty good for Quiet Storm. Pretty good indeed. There's engineers, a tham here, but there's 4 thams and they are walking towards this place. And that is not what Ismo wants. He is now outgunned on the ground. Thams will do quite nicely for Auroras. They tankier, take more damage to destroy. Not looking terribly good out of that factory, and of course this one's still producing more. So that has actually been a win for Quiet Storm. He's claimed the island with a drop, helping the support. We have a bit of a conflict going on over on the opposite island, and the other end of the map it is Loopy. Has factory down, is rocking out some units. There's been a drop, I think, from Bramwell. Or no, there's engineers actually piling over one by one. They're starting on a point defense, and that could be a problem should it complete. And Loopy being not aware of it, Loopy wants to start rolling out some E1 arty, because that is a problem. That is a problem. Auroras, I think they can actually outrange that if they edge shoot at it, but they need a radar up. And speaking of radars over here, cheeky one in from Bramwell. Looking to sneak the island away. The longer Loopy can hold this against him, the better he'll be, but he definitely needs some T1 arty to start taking out this, and certainly wants to look at taking away this. Is he paying attention? That's the question. Well, there are furthers queued up from that factory, so they may very well work out. Trying to put up his own PD, but in come the engineers. Engineer rush, get your units up here, man. You need your units to defend this engine, defend that spot. You want to kill them off with your Auroras, nice and easy. Here we go. Don't let that complete. That will be the absolute death to you should you let it complete. Time for the Aurors to move in, and that is a turnaround from Bramwell. Just wanted to get out of there. The radar's down, and it's time for Loopy to expel Bramwell from this island. He's got nothing. He's got a few engineers. He's got a single PD. You can use your units to kill that off as long as you're careful about the range and use the T1 RT effectively. There we go. That's going to be the end of that PD, and that will be a hold for Loopy, or should be. Quick check on the other island, and it has been cleaned up. Definitely under control by Quietstorm. Okay, 10 minutes into the game. Let's have a look for some tech. Who's been making the upgrades? Well, we have no upgrades for Esmo. He's still rocking the T1, but a lot of it. There is T2 Air Factory for Jan at work, so on the way to getting the engineers out. Going to get some power down. Do we have tech over here? We do. We've got T2 Air for Bramwell, and he's working on a T2 PGN already. And in front of him, we have any tech. We do. We have a T2 Naval Factory for no more work. So a few players into the T2 realm of things. For team number 1, checking out team number 2, we have just some T1 spam up here. For Quietstorm, we have a T2 Air Factory over this direction with some T2 power. We're just going to go T3 shortly. In the water, we have, looks like just some T1 Navy spam and some single T1 factory over here as well. But there is a sub out. There is a torpedo bomber, so it should be able to hold that. No. There is some tech. There we go. T2 on the ground for Chaos. We have T3 already for Ferb. So Ferb has just gone straight for T3 air, not even worrying about anything else, and he's got it. Then we have T2 with a T3 upgrade on the way for Loopy. And just some T1 Navy rocking around the place, although a bunch of it over this direction for some spam. So early into the T3 air game is going to beat anybody on team number 1. So the T3 air has just started for Bramwell. That's not a good thing for them. Well behind. The question is what going to be the first unit out of here once that power is completed for Ferv. Might be a little bit behind in the mass side of things, but good enough that he can produce units at a T3 rate. Okay. Checking back up here, do we have any Navy upgrade plans? No, this is all still just T1. Now to another drop attempt coming out from Jan at work. Actually, a drop attempt. Is it just engineers perhaps? No. This is T1 RD. So Jan's looking to maybe drop those somewhere, maybe down here. Perhaps he can get some damage done to the eco. Or perhaps further in. We'll have to try and keep half an eye on that as things progress. But T2 Navy in the water for no more work. That's a couple of destroyers, and that T1 little band here is going to struggle against those guys. Does not want to get close. Definitely want to get started on an upgrade somewhere, somehow. Still just some T1 Navy in there for Quietstorm as well. So T2 Navy advantage very much in the hands of team number 1. And that is going to be something they need to be concerned about. They need to sort. Cruiser coming out as well. Good old Seraphim Cruiser has this nice lovely attack missiles, which cause issues all over the place. Some hover spam as well, so not content to just do Navy. Going to do the annoying hover spam to make life misery for somebody. Over in this direction, where did that drop go? Here it is, sneaking along the edge. The drop is trying to do its thing. Which knows how far it's going to get? The answer is, well, probably not very far. Even if it manages to make landfall down here, there's a whole huge amount of land forces and a T2 HQ. Strange location to put one. The drop's down. The AD's going to fire. There's a poor engineer that's going to suffer all of that right to the face. Tries to dodge out of the way. Makes it. And in comes the THAMs to reduce these guys to less than an optimal health condition. What are they focusing on? Well, if they take out the T1 mechs, that was very close to being done actually. 2 of them. Probably not a bad little raid. Most of these mixes were just about upgraded, so that's quite a bit of mass wasted. I don't think it was possibly worth it. Back in this direction, and already the attack missiles are starting out from the cruiser sitting in here. Wherever it is, there it is. Lovely little cruiser making its presence felt. And still we have no T2 Navy for Team 2. That's not upgrading yet, that's not upgrading, that's not upgrading. We have a strat bomber out though, that's coming all the way from Ferv. I feel like that was a bit delayed because T3 Air is very much in production for Bramwell as well. He's got a couple of ASFs out already. They'll be able to take care of that strap bomb and no dramas. Looks like the strat's going for the Navy down here. Is it actually? It gets itself, 9 kills or so, but not that much damage overall. It takes a huge hammering from the anti-air of the cruiser as well, down to 1,000 health. It's not going to survive another pass of basically anything. But it did take out a few of the holders, but I don't know if that was worth it. Navy's moved down on the left hand side now. This is Nuke. He's got his tier 1 forces rocking on in. They're trying to shoot the mechs there, but they're having a good old rousing round to fuck the ground. Not going to get through that wall, and that mech is going to survive. They're now moving in this direction though. They want to try and clean up the naval production belonging to Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm, maybe not what he needs right now. Too much on their strap bombs coming on over. It can never go at all of these. It's only T1 after all. Do drop a bomb, get some damage done, take a few shots, kills 1, 2 out of that. But that is it for the Navy. Quiet Storm is going to be out of the pond for a while. In the middle, and there has been a mad T-run rush coming up from Loopy, just joining in the fun and trying to push. Well, they have pushed no more work back, sort of. He's sunk his destroyers, he's submerged his destroyers, so they're not being able to be picked off by the frigates, but that leaves the frigates open to take over the other ones. And if those destroyers do surface, they're going to have a bad time. Down's going to go the sonar. Units handed over by Loopy to Chaos, going to let him do as he needs to do. And what's going to be a problem? While there's quite a lot of frigates, there's also a handful of destroyers. We've got 2 more back here with their range. They're going to be able to do that kind of thing to the frigates. It's simply not going to have a bad time. They can push right on up though. They can maybe do some damage to the HQ. Definitely kill off the willpower. But reinforcements are coming over from Ismo. And where was Ismo's Navy? Here it is. It is in full retreat. Whether that's because they're being chased by subs or the torpedo bombs, I do not know, but there's a couple of factories left down here for Quiet. Still not going for T2 just yet. Who is going for T2? There we go, T2 upgrade on the way right there for Chaos. Definitely needed. We have no other T2. Might be a bit of an oversight, because if we have a look at the other team, well, actually it's a lot of T1 spam coming out from Ismo. They have loitered around here, they have killed off a bunch of production, but I wonder if they've killed off the correct production. They have damaged a lot of T1 factories, killed 4 of them, so reasonable, but maybe they would have been better off coming up this way, killing off the build power, and then perhaps having a go at the T2 HQ, see how that works out. But they're moving on. Decided they've done enough. They're going to wander off, especially in the face of a large swarm of torpedo bombers. Not much they can do about those. They're just frigates. It's going to take them a while to shoot through the health. Some inties come over. They will help clean things up. ASFs will do a great job of cleaning up. They've got to be careful because the air from Bramwell is nearby. And if this is all the ASFs that Ferb has, they're going to get ousted unless they break in time and don't engage. Looks like they may have just timed that well enough to get away from those indies. Perhaps coincidental, but they survive the scrape. Okay, T3 Air required. He's got himself a T3 Air HQ as well. So 2 players in T3 Air for team number 2. We should have T3 Air, but we don't. I am surprised Jan does not have T3 Air. What has Jan been doing? Apparently producing a lot of torpedo bombers, but nonetheless, that seems like an oversight. Maybe he wants to think about changing that, going T3 Air, because at the moment it's still just the 1 player. Although Air Grid is starting on up for Bramwell, he should be okay. T1 Air left, right and centre for Ismo. Looks like his focus is going to be on the Navy. Alright, speaking of Navy, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 4 T1s and an upgrading factory towards T2 for Quiet Storm. So there's going to be plenty of Navy going. Plenty of Navy happening, and let's see what the deal is. Lots of torpedo bombers though, got to be careful of those. They will wipe a good number of forces. And still with the tech advantage though, T2 has been completed down here. And skipping T2, Chaos, not even bothering to build a single T2 unit in the water. He's gone straight for T3, and being serious, that's going to be the sub hunters will start coming out of that, and they will be nasty. Against T2 units, they have nice range, they have nice damage that they can do. Going to be a... I figure this is probably a delaying tactic. I just want to keep the Navy way long enough to get T3 up, and then they can start spamming out those things, and it will be quite nasty. Any other tech down this direction? Look at all T1 for Loopy. More T1 factories over there. And checking out this direction, we still don't have a T3 shift for No More Work, sticking with the T2. We have T2 there for Esmonoob. So they're going to have their own T2 in the water. In fact, they've had T2 for a while, because here comes the destroyer. It's going to start playing some havoc with this particular island. You don't want to leave it there, especially with some T2 mixes. They're going to get pumped into destruction. That is actually upgrading from T2 to T3. If you have a look at the progress bars in these guys, it's about 40% done. So that is about 900 mass. But 900 mass lost there during that mid-upgrade. Not so good. Alright, in the middle though, there goes that squeeze we're talking about. Just wanted to keep the opponents at distant. And T3 is done. And working on... Yep, that looks like a good old T3 sub. And torpedo bombers? Nope, just scouts coming out of there. So the middle is a absolute fracas at the moment. Very much going to be a winning situation for team number 1 in the Navy deal. They've got the T2 on the go. The destroyers back here going to kill things off. T2 torpedo launcher going to help with the sub issue on T1 stage. Some very ill-advised engineers drop. Oh dear, those poor guys. They're simply not going to last. They're sent there to try and scoop up some of the mass, but nowhere near the mass, and now they're dead. They were thrown to their doom. Just no consideration for their well-being. Now, how's that going? Well, it's kind of a slow build actually. It's taken a while to pop out that T3 sub. It will make a difference. It will make a difference. It's going to be able to murder stuff. Won't be able to hit this hover though, so all these Zoes coming across the water, the T3 subs are not going to be able to touch those. Of course, torpedoes don't hit things that aren't in the water. Those things are over it. Still no T3 upgrade going on there for No More Work. He's sticking with. We have, yep, just the T2 over there. How's the air situation? Well, there we go. We have T3 in the pipe at Jan, and those are Continentals. Now, you usually see Continentals when you're talking about a drop, and those are Percivals. Versus on a Continental, they could cause some damage. If we can get those dropped down somewhere, they can start wreaking havoc, especially if there's no easily available response. Not going to be good for their health. Alright, checking back in the middle though. Here is the Navy fight, and there we go. The sub hunter is out. There's great range, great damage capability. And at the moment it seems like Quiet is trying to defend with some hover against what's coming in. He's... no, it looks like he's sticking with T2, going to get some units out there. And any moment now we're going to see this thing actually open up and start doing some torpedo spammage. There we go. First target is going to be, looks like this shard over here. Not going to last too much longer. All those things need to do is connect, and it's a dead thing. Looks like there's some torpedo defense. Yes indeed, so these beacon frigates belonging to the island, they do have some torpedo defense. Just to be extra irritating for these guys, they get a torpedo every now and then is stopped by the defense, but misses quite often. And look at that. Nice long range, picking off these things at distance, and that's not good. Down. Oh no, it survives. I thought perhaps that was going to die, but it actually survives, and now there's... it looks like they're focusing on the units on the beach, which are shooting back at the frigates, giving this thing the distraction it needs for this kind of thing to survive. The mass extractor here and here. This one's nope, not behind any kind of wall. Nice and open. It could take a volley of T2 destroyer fire, and it would be out of the game. 83%. That is a huge amount of mass put into this. If it dies anytime soon, it will not have paid for itself, and it's going to be a bad thing. But distracting units are distracting. It looks like they're actually managing to keep this alive for now. It is T3 now, so might have a chance at fixing itself up. In the middle though, it is the T1 spam still just holding back. I don't know if this is deliberate on the face of No More Work. It's got some T2, but it's not doing much with it at the moment. And Jan at work. Doing no backs? Really? 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 Where did they drop? Did I miss the drop? Please tell me I didn't quite miss the drop. The drop has just happened down here. Jan has got his units over. The Continentals have made it. And they have dumped off some Percivals and a bunch of engineers. And the first thing they're doing is starting work on everything. Got a SAM going up over here. Triads, shields, the Continentals there, the Percivals there. That is a problem for Loopy. He has been dropped on by Jan. And there's already one SAM up. There's a second one going up. Shields are planned. Some ground defenses are planned. The Percivals are having a go at the factories over here. They're all T1. And poor Loopy is stuck in the water. If he walks out of there, unless he's got... Maybe he could walk out and overcharge these, but still he'd be facing the point defense. He'd be facing the shields. He'd be facing the Titans, Percivals. Not a good situation for him. He's got... Oh dear. He's got to find a way to try and slow this down before it turns into a major issue, which it kind of is already. We have shields up, we have SAMs up, and of course the units are in play as well. They're going to be there to just simply... And this is what we don't want to happen for team number 2. It is some factories being planned up here now by Jan at work, and even T1 spam is enough to be irritating. Got some scouts going on over here, and they're going to know exactly what the haps is. They've just spotted all of this, and no good. You're shooting down the transports about 5 minutes too late, I think. That is just nothing useful, and the question is what can Loopy do? Well, he's starting to work on some restorers, but I don't know if those are the right choice. They don't have as much ground capability as other T3 gunships. It's going to take them a while to kill the Percivals, and if they stray too close to the SAMs, they're going to die a horrible death out of that as well. So perhaps some T2 gunship spam might be the better idea, because those T2 gunships have a huge alpha and might be able to knock things out quicker on the ground. Of course, restorers are great for anti-air. They have very powerful anti-air capabilities, but anti-ground, not so much. Going to take them quite a while to chew through that health right there. Over comes a drop. This is looking like a support commander. I hope it's a support commander, not fear of dropping his... Nope, support commander coming in to assist. Maybe we can get some point defense down and just hopefully help stop off this. But in the meantime, this has been the Loopy's base all hammered on up. Okay, let's have a quick check of the rest of the map. Just while that's going on, we know what's happening there. We have a T2 Navy push coming in here from Esmo Newbies. Brought these guys back. Being supported by a bunch of torpedo bombers, and I'm guessing the torpedo bombers went after the... They went after the sub hunters, and now there's no sub hunters on the field, and now there's Navy pushing right on in. Nuke House. It's got a huge number of T3 naval factories trying to produce things all at once. I don't even know how he's planning to do that, but he's got problems in the face of units in his base trying to get some kind of point defense up, but torpedo launchers aren't that good a PD. Namely, because pretty much every destroyer can outrange these things. They can sit at a distance and poke them away. Also cruisers all the way back here, they can just lob their missiles over, and that's going to have a bad time on that front. You need some kind of TMD to stop that happening, but otherwise you're not getting up to much. A bit of a squeeze coming through from Loopy trying to help keep things away. Do we have another sub hunter under there? Just the one left, but how's things going down this direction? Well, SAMs are creeping, restorers are dropping out, and Jan has finished that Novax. It is done. We have a Novax. Oh yeah. It is absolutely on the way, and that's going to be a problem for team number 2, but it's going to head. The bigger problem right now though is this Navy. They have really been pushed back, although I think no more work is just dropping back because he has to. We have a counter Navy sitting here from Loopy. It was set to move in but stopped and is now taking damage. Needs to think about moving so those tech missiles don't get free hits on this destroyer. Look at that. That's not great. It's taken 7,000 damage for no response basically. And now torpedo bomber comes up. The torpedoes get... Oh, they got torpedo defense, so not too badly off in that factor. Let's check the air game. Well, we know the Navy game is currently looking pretty strong for team number 1. How's the air? Bramwell has 157 ASFs. That's a lot. Verb has 70. Well, actually has 69. Nice. And Quiet Storm has a few of his own. He's got another 16. But Bramwell is just absolutely dominating with the air game. So many ASFs. I'm hearing strats, but I don't know where they are. There they are. I'm coming in this direction, and they are trying to make a mockery of this. Hello, tech launchers. Oh no. And they've got a whole bunch of kills. What have they been killing? The answer is everything. T3 mass extractor up here is going to take another hit, is it? No, he's not sending a second missile there. Really needs to. He's got 200 health left. Just want to sneeze on that, but this has been brutal from Jan. Just sending in those units right there. Of course, the destroyers are getting hammered by the SAMs back in this direction. They're trying to kill off the Percivals, but they needn't really worry about this stage. Right now, the attack missiles are the bigger threat. But it looks like they have been handled by, yes, the Buzzkills. Thank you, Berg, for the support commander coming in with the assist there. Has managed to restrict this damage mostly to this area. Yeah, looking like that. Now there's a few destroyers off the starboard bow, and they should be able to kill off all of this. And that would be very well done. Kill the engineers first, they'll stop building things, then you can kill all the infrastructure. Kill the NGs. Kill the NGs. Our destroyers just holding the line. Got some Ravagers back here. They're doing the same kind of thing, trying to lob their shells, and they just curl nicely over the hill. Another destroyer pops out of the sky. SAMs are just too much for you there. The engineers are dead. The SAMs are going to go down. That's going to be the end of that. There's one Percival left over here. It's got a few kills, but it might not last too much longer, especially if they decide to push him with more restorers, because nope, there's still one more SAM right here. There's three more SAMs, sorry, I take that back. There's lots of SAMs still left. And yeah, sending the restorers in now is a bad idea. They're also going after the wrong things. Why the T1 AA when there's SAMs about? That's what they could use dying. Focus down the feet. Die. A lot of mass thrown into these restorers. Each restorer, let me just check the calculations on that thing. Each restorer is 1200 mass. 1200 mass to do a little bit of damage. There's lots of wrecks left behind, so plenty of reclaim to grab, but look at the amount of restorer wrecks that are around that Lippy has been trying to do. How much is that? We take away the 6,000 from those two things. We're looking at, oh, that can't be right. 18,000 mass? That's a lot. There's a lot of mass to repel this invasion, so Jan, massive play there and massive amounts of damage. Like I said, it has left a bunch of reclaim, which could be used, and also going to want to rebuild those T3 mixes, but that's a lot of mass spent to try and secure that. On the left hand side, just switching back, we have a bunch of these sub-hunters out now, and they can start doing some wicked damage to what's going on here. There's a battleship out, there's a bunch of T1 and T2 surrounding it, but those sub-hunters are just going to basically shoot them away. Don't want to do this. You don't want to do this with them. You don't want to get close. Keep them at distance, because they get too close to destroyers and they actually struggle. Destroyers en masse will actually beat these sub-hunters. They're getting close. Depth charges and torpedoes, not very good for these sub-hunters' health. So they can do a wicked amount of damage if they focus on the right thing as well. I don't know why they're hitting the frigate. And here they are. They're caught nice and close. Destroyers overhead and just watch them. They're not very strong. Destroyers have more health in them, and destroyers have depth charges, destroyers have torpedoes. They do not like being too close to that. Not great for their health back in the middle, and it has been a fallback from no more work, just a little bit. Just looking to consolidate that middle section, doesn't really want to push too much further. It's got a bunch of stuff in front of them, and battleships now out from Chaos as well, so in conjunction with the sub-hunters who are still doing silly things, the battleships are out, and that is going to cause problems on the double T3 front. We must have T3 for somebody else. Yes, we do. We have T3, of course. We saw the battleship out for no more Oh, sorry, Ismo Noob. No more work is still rocking the T2 though, just focusing on the destroyers for now. It's going to be working on something else. More T2 factories, more T2 apparently. And in the water comes Bremel. He's happy in the air game. He's going to jump into that all as well. That is a support commander, so that is fine. But it's going to struggle trying to hold off all the attack missiles coming in from these cruisers. So maybe want some TMD there as well. Could be very, very useful. Okay, having a look at the back end of the back end. We have SMD coming up for third. We have no SMD showing up here. Is there a nuke? Therein lies the question. A lot of the action's been on Team 2 side. A Soul Ripper. Oh dear. Experimental done for Bremel. That's the Soul Ripper. And why not, if you own the air, go ahead. Yeah, the Novax was built quite some time ago. And I don't know where it's been. Oh, there it is. It's just been picking away at, yep, exposed mass extractors. Got one there. Another one there. It's got 4 kills to its name, so it's probably killed some others. And this is a cheeky engineer doing a reclaim job on this mix that used to belong to Ferv. Loopy grabbing that mass out. I'm pretty sure he's not doing it deliberately. He wouldn't have been paying attention at all. And this is what a Novax does to people. Shields everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Ah, hello. Nuke defense right there. And you have no power. Quiet Storm has no power. He needs power. He needs power, especially as he's building a YOLO. All your shields are down, buddy. I would think about building some more PGs before continuing with that. Honestly, yeah. How much power down is he? Negative 50,000 power. That's all of these things. He's got 1,000 each. How many has he got? Yep, all his power usages in these things trying to build the YOLO. So that's a thing. The big question is, has it been spotted by team number 1? Answer is no, but they should scout it. Anybody who sees that knows it's a big swarm of something building something, and all it takes is one scout to fly on over. Even as we say, here comes a scout from Bramwell. He's seen that going on, and he's going to be like, yeah, about that. Not a good look. Upgrade going down for quiet as well. It's going to probably Raz, I'd imagine. Nope. But Jan has built another experimental. That's going to be a second satellite, I think we saw. Yes, it did, Didi. Another Novax on the way. But back into the middle, because it is all about the Navy right now. And that's a lot of Navy. And actuality, it is Team 2 coming in with the Navy bust. So much T3 in the way, but there's the bug. The bug's being a pain in the bucket. Ferb sends in his ASF to take that thing on. It's down into the red. Hovering over some SAMs. Going to kill the SAMs off? No, it is not. And it's going to get bopped out of the sky. The air wings have done just enough, but that gives Bramwell full air control. Focus the bug down. Bramwell has 200 ASFs, and there's no way Team 2 has anything close to that numbers. They're going to start investing in some anti-air on the ground. SAMs everywhere. Oh, look at that, SAMs everywhere. Yes. Loopy is not happy about his previous death. I'm hearing more strats. Am I hearing strats? I heard him, but I simply don't see him. There were somewhere. Ah, some sub-hunters up here. They've been caught out. They're stuck in the water. They're way behind enemy lines. Some torpedo bombers coming on up. That's going to do for them. They could surface and they could start shooting, but that will put them in firing capability of battleships, and they'll have a bad time from that. So, yeah, maybe they don't. Right, Chaos says we need more air. It's like, well, you know what just happened? You just had all your air runched by Bramwell whilst taking out the bug. It was worth killing the bug. Yes, the bug is a big threat. It could have just swung on through and demolished a whole lot of stuff, but that is something they need to address over here though. The midsection is falling. This Navy has been pushed right on back. Massive force here. That's basically saying no to that. But even while that force is in the middle crushing that direction, there is nothing left over on the left hand side. Just a bunch of engineers doing a reclaim on a mass field, and a sizable mass field it is. So it's good a field to grab, but there's Navy coming and there's nothing to slow it down. Nothing in the water. Yes, there's T3 factory here trying to build another battleship, and some T2 factories popping out some more units, a couple of T1 factories. But compared to what's actually en route, a bunch of battleships, some shields, everything that's coming this way, there's not enough there to slow that down. So success in the middle, but at the cost of the left hand side. See how that works out for them. How is progress on that yellow? Well, there's not really any progress. There's 1/4 done. It's going to take a long time to do, and still quiet with the shield power issues. It looks like he's starting to try and build some more. Definitely needs to get focused on that. Maybe wants to think about doing that instead of this right now. Get some more power so he can actually keep his shields alive. Danger creeps ever closer on the left. Do we have any kind of response from team number? Well, yes, we do. We have a Scathus. And that Scathus might be going faster than YOLO. It is a 1/4 done. The progress is not too bad. Check out the air grid and the nuke launcher. The nuke launcher is loaded, and maybe he's going for a second nuke? Question mark. Sometimes that can work if you could load up with double nukes and launch 2 at once. If your opponents have only just seen it and think they're safe with one SMD, it might not work if it's not loaded. Quiet Storm has seen the reality of AC's build SAMs. We will not be able to catch up to air. Not when there's this much of an advantage. A massive air wing out from Bramwell, constantly being reinforced. What's he got now? 283 ASFs. You're not catching up to that without some kind of severe anti-air. And speaking of severe anti-air, there's a bunch of SAMs around here. Some strap bombs turn up for, don't know what they're going for, but they're not going for it anymore on account of the SAMs saying no. ASFs are chasing those strats down. We have more SAMs over this direction. Going for the eco. Why not? They don't even manage to kill that. I'm sure there was 2 bombs. There were 2 bombs. They survived. Navy on the left hand side now, and it has all been redirected out there. There's some battleships having a bad time with torpedo bombers belonging to Quiet Storm, and of course Quiet Storm has his own battleships as well. Torpedo bombers are shredding things, but the battleships in turn are wrecking the eco down this way. A couple of T3 mixes are dead, and there's more eco to come, as well as a T3 HQ. This T3 mass extractor almost dead. You're not going to get that shield up in time, buddy. Sorry, but yeah, it's gone. Just like that. Even as that goes in, comes the air wing from Bramwell to clear up those torpedo bombers. They're basically gone in one pass. Nothing left of those guys. And Jan has another Novax and 2 more plans. So Jan's got Novax spam. Can be quite irritating, just the mobility of these things. They can focus down on particular items. They could focus down on Navy, which can't be shielded. Very problematic. But how is that yellow going? Well, we're looking at just about 50% completed, and looks like Quiet kind of has his power issues sorted. Although he's maybe going to want to think about shielding these, considering there's Novaxes about. Let's check the progress on the Scathus and see how we're looking over that direction. It is going a lot slower, actually. Bramwell does not have near the amount of build power on that. Getting some point defense down. I'm guessing he's worried about a telesnipe. I think Bramwell's supposed to be asking for help from these, but his teammate hasn't opened them up for production. Busy doing his own stuff. Quiet Storm asking for mass. Well, I'll tell you what. You want mass? There's some on the map. There's about 240,000 reclaim. And there's some of it right here. Which is a whole lot of it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 T3 mixes dead. That is 1,800 mass. And then the T3 HQ, so much mass. Right here waiting for the reclaim. You're calling for mass. Go ahead and grab it. The only problem is trying to grab that in front of this Navy. There's a whole lot of it. We got battleships, we got destroyers, we got some frigates being annoying, we got a bit of hover, we got some shields going on. Not a great sight, and it's not going to last long. Any kind of defenses, we have a few battleships left over here from Quiet Storm. He's popped out another nuke, I hear. Where is that nuke going? Where is the nuke going? I don't see the flashing icon. I see the nuke coming out. The question is, where is it going for? And hello. Is this a strat sniper attempt? No, looks like they're just going for eco, and why not? Eco's there to die. A couple of bombs each and that will take care of those, and they're going for all of this eco over this side, why not? ASS react from Bramble, maybe a little bit too late. These things can destroy a lot of eco. If they can get some extra bombs off as well, they could kill off the actual T3 mass extractors too. And they might very well have time from how slow those are reacting. Where is the nuke going? Well, it's continuing on. Going straight on overhead. There's SMD there, I'm sure they're aware of it, so I must be going for something else. Yes indeed, it's curved back down. It could take out the HQ. No, the HQ's already gone. What happened to your HQ? So Chaos has lost his T3 Naval HQ somewhere. Used to be here, and he's got nothing to show for it. Now his Navy is going to suffer. He's going to do with what he has. These strap bombers have done their job. They have killed off 1, 2, 3, 4, a whole bunch of T3 mixes over here that were belonging to Bramble, so decent work from them. Maybe they wanted to carry on and take out these ones as well. If they could have, uncertain. But now Chaos has a problem of being out of the T3 Navy gamer who can only produce T1 units now. Wants to think about something somewhere upgrading back to T3, because otherwise he's got a pair of very useless T3 support factories back on the left hand side, and is defensive duty for Quiet, just doing a holding pattern, trying to stop as much of this as possible while he tries to reclaim as much as possible. By the look of it, yes indeed, reclaim is on the way, trying to grab the mass, because if he can get the mass, and if he can get it pushed into here, oh dear, look at the satellites overhead. He's going to have to spam up the shields, but before he spams up the shields, he's going to need to spam up the power. Can't afford to run out of that. Oh, there's the HQ. So, sorry, Chaos has been a wee bit more clever than I have, and he's actually built his HQ back here. So even if he doesn't have it up the front, he's still got one HQ and he can still produce T3 units out of that. But ooh, the left hand side is just not looking good at all. One battleship left for Quiet Storm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battleships for Esmo Noob, and they are just simply romping through everything down here. Nothing to stop them. Still trying to get the mass, still trying to get the mass. Engineers doing the reclaim business. Another nuke out. This time it is going... oh no, it's from a battleship. So Chaos had a nuke loaded in a battleship. It is pumping its payload somewhere. Looks like it's going right here. Now it's only a battleship nuke, so it's not as powerful as a regular nuke, I do not think. Also it's Navy, and for some reason Navy just seems to take less damage. This lot are trying to escape out of it. Maybe he wants to move it a little bit closer. There is an SMD here though. Didn't want to get too close to that, and crunch, that poor destroyer takes a nuke to the face. 30,000 damage to that battleship, nothing to that one. Don't know if that was worth it. Still, delaying tactics keep on going because that yellow is everything. Lots of assistance going on down there, and it is very close to being done. And yeah, Quiet Storm is going to need more power. He's losing it. Those satellites have turned up. They have found the exposed T3 P-gens, and if his power drops, he's going to have a terrible, terrible time. He can't afford to have that happen. Some T3 somewhere, doesn't he? He's got an SACU. That can start building some T3 power right here. It would be highly advisable, I'd say, because this is heavily shielded, and he's not keeping these ones. That is all gone. How is your power? Well, I guess that answers that. His power is nothing. He has got to build more P-gens and got to get his shields back up. He's going to have a terrible, terrible time. He's yelling for energy, and he damn well needs it before these satellites start wrecking what he has left. Are you building more shields? You want more P-gens. Not looking good. He almost finished YOLO. In fact, that's going to finish very, very shortly. Let's check progress on that Scathis, because that was the counter to the YOLO. It is done. Scathis is done and is ready to fire. Even as the YOLO is virtually completed, more power. Firestorm was hollering for more power, definitely calling for it. I hear an Awassa. I definitely heard the Awassa, but where is it? there it is. Bombing the navy that belongs to Loopy. Loopy trying to get some distraction in here, trying to get some kind of work done. Bunch of brought whalers though, and the Wasp of course being an issue. Quiet Storm cannot afford to run out of power. He's boosting to load that YOLO. That of course uses power again. Definitely needs more pigeons, not more shields. He's going to lose another power. No dear. And this is going to start having a cascade, a bit of a cascade effect for Quiet Storm. The more power that he loses, the more trouble he's in. The Scathus fire comes on and starts hammering down on the shields. Not what they need. The YOLO is Nuke King is just about ready to go. But oh dear. Exposed pigeons, anyone? Novak's overhead. And this is going to be a problem. That's going to pop. The mass fab's going to pop. In turn, they're going to cause more destruction. Big, giant chain reaction. 1, 2, 3. T3 pigeons as well as a couple of T2s down. This one's exposed as well now. There we go. The YOLO is firing, but power issues for Quiet Storm, and his shields are not going to stay on. The YOLO gets a shot away. There's going to be more fire coming in. The satellites are overhead, not great for the health there. There's more Scathus fire. Here it is. And, you know, it looks like Chaos has managed to hold the middle there. With the Navy, he's done pretty well. Not too bad. Okay, some more energy is donated over to Quiet Storm. He needs it. He needs it badly. And he's actually going to cause some issues. Where has that YOLO gone? Well, I think it's going in this direction. Maybe wants to kill off these Novaks because, of course, they are very annoying. Especially when they're hovering overhead, just doing some constant damage anytime something disappears. YOLO is loading slowly. Where's Quiet Storm's gone? Out of curiosity. Hiding in the water somewhere, hiding up here somewhere. Uncertain more Scathus fire coming on, and the YOLO takes, gets shot down by this SMD right there, but it's empty now. And that could be a problem though. He's got some more, neither of these are loaded. That one's not loaded, so he's got 3 more SMDs, but none of them loaded. The Scathus is firing away, having a grand old time. Hammering at that YOLO. They have to stop the YOLO. I guess another nuke hopper could take care of the Novaks okay. It's just about there. They actually got a target load. We'll find out in a second. But more destruction. Scathus fire landing on down course. The more condensed your location is, the more Scathus fire misses. So it basically bombards a whole giant area. But you combine that with the defense satellites overhead, they are very specific about what they're going to try and shoot. There goes another. Oh, Quiet Storm's comes right there. That is another YOLO. Is it going for the same location as a question? It is. It's going here. Trying to desperately build some more SMDs, but maybe that's not the right spot. Maybe back a little bit would have been better. Oh, there's another SMD here that he's trying to avoid, but not enough. None of them are loaded, and that's going to be a landing YOLO. That's going to cause a good amount of damage. And the next one could be worse. So his energy appears stable. His shields aren't dropping. But still, building more and more shield gens may not be the answer. I guess he kind of needs him to keep that alive. Right, let's just double check that YOLO. Making his way through. So is the Navy though. Although Chaos is doing a good job of holding this off, and the Navy is going to have to retreat from Esmo. Does not have enough to break through that. In fact, I'll say Team 2 might have more Navy than Team 1. They could almost push through on this. Alright, YOLO's on the way. Is there any other SMG that's loaded? The answer is no. The question is, how much range of damage will this do? The answer could be a lot. Although this dies basically instantly. Massive explosion coming out from that thing, and shockwaves are pushing on up till they get far enough. The answer is kind of? Oh, I say kind of, I'd say yes. Rocking all the way through, almost. Big damaging area, but another YOLO out straight away this time. Is there enough SMD? The answer is no. Yes, that's a tier 4 nuke. It is out. The answer is how much range does it have? I can't tell. Good one. Yeah, it's massive. But the big question is, will there be enough SMDs loaded? This one is not loaded. It's not It's barely moving at all. We have one loaded here. We have not got one loaded there. Trying to build some more, but more is not what you need to build. You need to focus and get another S&D loaded to prevent this YOLO that is coming across the map slowly but surely. It's a problem, and Quiet Storm has held. Quiet Storm has held. His SMD's exposed though. This one down here is going to die in half a second. Oh, shield up just in time from Chaos. Chaos really helping out with that, but that YOLO is going to land. It's going to cause some issues, and actually, just quietly, Ferv has his own satellite doing a thing. Oh, it loaded. This SMD did load just in time. Question, does he have another 2 anti-nukes? Well, he probably will by the time the next missile gets here, because this one is loading on up. He can throw some assistance on there. Change of tack about where the missile is going over this direction this time, but this SMD is loaded with 2, and there are SMDs in the way. These are both actually loaded from Bramall, so I don't feel like this YOLO is going to get through. On the flip side, Gathers Fire hammering down on this SMD. It is the single nuke defense that is actually keeping things at bay. Because this one's dead. If that nuke defense dies, it's his last one that is stopping that nuke right there. So Bramall has his own, and it's not looking good. No, this YOLO is not going to get through. It is not going to get through. Taking aside these 2 SMDs here, it still has that one, which is double loaded, and 2 more in front, a 4th one being built. So SMDs everywhere. The YOLO is basically out of commission. Might as well start using it to nuke Navy. Maybe kill off the HQ over there and all this down here. Kill off all these. Get rid of all that Navy is going to be good. 1 missile out, 2 missiles out, and 1 wasted actually. And that is a dead satellite. Interesting. I wonder what killed that. It's dropped out of the sky, it's turned into a wreck, and actually nothing to scoop. That doesn't make sense. I thought they gave something to scoop when they dropped. Yes, that was it. No. But nukes ahoy from Bramall, that can only mean one thing. SMD is... it's not down because the shields are up. And that shield is still up and SMD is still alive. Is that nuke been premature, or those satellites are overhead trying to hammer down? There we go, it's now exposed. Scatters Fire landing, and it's still there. Just no, now it's gone. And that nuke is going to get through from Bramall. It has been timed well enough. SMD is down. This SMD is not loaded, and you know that's coming for the YOLO. It is going straight on into here. Quiet Storm starts with the evacuation of his commander. Wants to get out of there. He knows where that nuke is landing. In the meantime, his YOLO is going to make it close enough. That is emptied out. Not enough. Only 1 SMD, not enough to stop a YOLO. It is going to obliterate this section. Might even catch. No, those aren't commanders. It's just support comms. But all of this will be gone. Huge amounts of damage to the Naval HQ. At that edge distance, but in the end not enough damage. That will be the YOLO out of the game. The nuke lands, the YOLO's destroyed all the shielding, gets a final missile off, which may or may not do some damage depending on where it's been sent to. But now the naval advantage is over. It has been Esmo pushing with his units. We have no more work also rushing in with what he's got. There's not much left for Chaos to do. He's been focusing, trying to rebuild here and do some protection, but he's been out of luck. Finally getting through Scathis, and this satellite fire just could not hold it off river, and because he spent so much eco into that, he doesn't have much in the water, and that is proving to be an issue over this direction. That satellite there, oh, not looking good for Ferb either. Now the Scath is focused on him. That air grid is getting hammered. Satellites overhead, they're going to expose reactors which go boom, cause a chain reaction, and stuff just dies. What you doing? Loopy's just kind of hiding here under a couple of shields. It's good as calm out there for protection, but that Scath's fight is going away. Looks like the YOLO probably didn't get much more down. Let's say if it came this way a bit too much. Well, we have a large number of SMGs there. We have a couple over here. These ones used to be loaded, so I'm guessing it got in range of these two, but shot the nuke down, so nothing doing on that front. Not going to get any drama going further from there. So Scath is still happily firing away. 501 kills, 232,000 mass destroyed. That thing has been getting so much work done, and you can see why. Stuff like this. Oh no, that's another exposed SMD. It's about to die? Question marks. Shield pops on just at the right time, just at the right angle to keep it alive, and they're going to complete that one. That is very fortunate. Nuke planned out there because there's a Naval on the way. So if whoever wants to get into the experimental artillery game as well, maybe a little bit late considering that, you know, you're already being hit by Scathis and by these goddamn defense satellites. Although the shields are holding, they're about to drop. Focus changes to the PGen, maybe a lobbies, because these were just about to look at that. They were just about to drop. Those satellites had stayed on that, it could have happened, but in come the Scathis fire, the shields blip, but survive, and this nuke is possibly going to get shot down because that, nope, aww. Just before the nuke arrives, the SMD gets hit by the satellites, and that is going to be it for all of this. Poof. And Burb's base is turned into scrap. Oh dear. Hello. There's been a teleport though, Quiet Storm. Teleported this commander in. He's killed off the Scathis, but I think that was just a bit of fun at the end there for him. Not bad actually. He's got the splash damage, so he's killing off these pretty darn quickly. Can't do much against these strap bombers though. It's a little bit rude, but nonetheless. The teleport in kills the Scathis. That is game for Quiet, that is game for Burb. The only person left now is poor old Loopy. Loopy, oh, Chaos Control K is out as well, he's done. And that leaves one lonesome little guy down here for team number 2. Putting down some T1 PD, I'm not sure what he is planning to protect himself from. But, here come the strats. Ramble. Does he know where he is? I'm pretty sure he can figure it out. Some scouts are coming over from Esmo. They're just going to fly past this and it will be game. Plenty of land spam coming in as well. I don't know if that was dropped or hover. Looks like it's all hover actually. You got the shield gens, you got the flak, you got the, yeah, it's all hover. This one's scooting around, but never mind. Loopy decides he's not going to be able to get out of this. And he wouldn't have. So well played by Team 1. Some unfortunate events, but some really good timing.